A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. You roll the dice to move your token, doubles get another turn. The first player to reach the end wins. Adventurers beware. Do not begin unless you intend to finish. The exciting consequences of the game will vanish only when a player has reached Jumanji and called out its name. Welcome to Jumanji. This week we are talking about Jumanji, the 1995 film directed by Joe Johnston, and the 2017 reboot Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, directed by Jake Kasden. The 1995 film stars Robin Williams, Bonnie Hunt, Kirsten Dunst, and Bradley Peirce. The remake stars Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Jack Black. How do these two fantasy adventure films compare to each other 22 years apart? Roll the dice and let's find out. Welcome back, feral listeners. It's February. I got the month right this time. So everybody give me a pat on the back for being an MVP and knowing what date, time, and year we're in. Thank you.
Alex, what year do you think it is?
Oh no. Oh no. So anyway, if you didn't guess it from the intro, no, I'm going to really count on the fact that y'all listen to the intro and know what we're talking about. We're talking about Jumanji. So I'm going to jump right to the summary real quick because it is a Monday that we're recording and Laurel and I are struggling. And all we want to do is go to bed at 6:30 p.m. on a Monday. So
I'm afraid you're right.
Without further ado. So I'm going to give a summary real quick. So these films have very similar plot lines at their core, so I'll try and do a summary that makes sense for both. Bottom line, various pairs and groups of misfit kids and teens are drawn to the drumming noise that appears to be coming from a board game. What they do not realize is the game is both ancient and cursed and will draw the players right into its world of very real jungle dangers, and the only way out is to beat the game. That's not a Wikipedia summary. That's mine. I did it.
Myapedia
Thank
summary.
you again.
Beautifully done.
Thank you.
Excellent work.
I'm really excited to hear your thoughts and feelings, Laurel.
Well, I'd never actually seen the original Jumanji before, so I went into it pretty fresh. I had seen Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle a couple times, so once again, I'm more familiar with the remake than the original. I assume you had seen Jumanji before.
I did. A lot of these 90s movies tended to play on Cartoon Network.
Oh.
Is what I realized, which is why I've seen a lot of them.
Okay.
Because Cartoon Network would have a movie day, and a lot of times they would do 90s adventure movies. So I saw all the Jurassic Park movies and Jumanji and other stuff like that.
The only thing I knew about Jumanji 1995 was that it took place in the real world as opposed to in the Welcome to the Jungle.
The video game world.
The video game world. And I knew that, I knew Robin Williams was in it. But other than that, I didn't really know what to expect. So when we started watching, and then all of a sudden it was 26 years later, that caught me so off guard. I was watching it with Michelle, and she made a joke about oh, and then he just gets left there, and then it cut to the screen, and it was 26 years later, and we both were like, what? That actually happened. So that was great. I was kind of glad we left that guy in there, though, because he as a kid was kind of annoying. But the other two kids we follow are great.
So, do we want to just jump into characters?
Yeah, kind of, because there's not too much else to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you and I start talking about characters, all of our other opinions kind of slowly spiral out. Yeah, so hopefully that's going to keep us going too. This might be our worst episode. I'll just say it now.
Even worse than the Space Chimps episode?
No, that was our funniest one. I had a lot of things to say about that. But how dare you bring that up?
Speaking of Space Chimps...
No, we should only talk about this once per season.
Speaking of nightmarish primates, the CGI on those monkeys, that is the stuff nightmares are made of. That was truly awful. I just needed to get that off my chest.
I'm glad you got that off your chest. Do you want to start with talking about the old characters first?
I think so.
Delve into that a little bit.
That would make sense.
And because they're so different, then we'll talk about the new characters.
Okay, so there's the kids, Judy and Peter. Should we talk about them first? I had to write down their names because I couldn't remember otherwise, but...
They don't have a lot going on, do they?
I mean, Judy... No, I would say they do.
Yeah.
Judy's a problem, and I enjoy that about her. She's just out there making crap up for no reason.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of great. And Peter's adorable. Peter?
Do you want to know?
Peter's adorable.
Do you want to know a fun fact about Peter?
Yeah.
So the kid who...
I don't like your face right now.
the kid who plays him is the voice of Chip from Beauty and the Beast.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
The animated one.
Oh.
I found that out and I was like, what a great way to tie back the joke that got cut.
No, I know. I was like, what are you trying to say? Because we can't reference that. Oh, he was great. That one scene where like he's half transformed into, I guess, a Neanderthal man or whatever. And then, hang on. Alan. I had to like consult my notes again.
I really like the way that you coughed it out, like Alan.
Like it was an insult. Alan sends him to the woodshed for an axe.
Yes.
And the woodshed is locked. So he like grabs an axe off the ground to like smash open the woodshed, and then he like pauses and he looks directly into the camera with this I couldn't describe the look on his face. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about Judy and Peter?
I think watching it back, like the four leads, like not that they don't have good, all the chemistry's like a little off.
Yeah,
I think Judy and Peter are really good, despite what I said earlier. Like they do have a lot of personality as kids, very similar archetypes to the two kids from the OG Jurassic Park movie too.
Not you bringing up Jurassic Park again.
I will bring up Jurassic Park whenever I damn please.
Every time you bring up Jurassic Park, I'm bringing up Space Gyms.
No. I only bring up Jurassic Park when you bring up Space Gyms. It's the other way around,
All right,
Morel.
it's a deal, pal. It's a deal.
No.
Anyway, go on. You were saying they had weird chemistry between the four leads.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. I feel like there was like this. They tried to do this layer where Robin Williams was a father figure to Peter.
But he's also a child?
He's also a child. That made zero sense whatsoever. Like, it was like trying to tie in this message that didn't really need to be there because they're essentially peers.
Yeah. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, he's basically Judy's age.
Yeah.
And even the way he acts, you know that he's still mentally a child.
Yes.
Which makes the whole, like, blossoming romance between him and Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been weirder, honestly, for a 90s film.
Yeah, I think they kept that part pretty tame.
They actually did, so props to them.
But just watching it back, I was like, all four of these people are just traumatized. Like, that's the main
I know.
character trait going on.
Felt
like,
so bad for Sarah.
Yes, I was like, there's not a ton of room for building chemistry and like humor and kind of creating a lot of different dynamics when like your main thing is there are four characters that are essentially traumatized living in a horror movie.
Plus there also wasn't room for that because every 7 minutes there was a new animal attacking them. Got to the point where I was like, by the end of the movie I was like, oh great, another creature.
I know. Okay.
I started to get over the gimmick a little bit.
Yeah, the monkey gimmick was old the second it came on the screen.
I'm afraid that you are right. I'm also just plain afraid. Those monkeys were awful.
I'm trying to remember what the scariest thing was. Maybe the crocodile.
I mean, it's just like in general, it's a scary film.
Yeah.
Like for kids, it's a scary film.
I feel like it was definitely marketed as like an action adventure film. And then watching it back, it's like,
That's
oh
what,
my
like,
God.
comparing the two movies, even though they're the same like concept, they're definitely different moods. Because the original is more of an action like thriller,
yes.
and then the Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is definitely an action comedy.
Yes. But yeah, it's difficult. There's not a ton to say about them because we don't get to experience their characters because they're constantly in peril, which I want to say like, oh, well, how would you develop character if they're constantly in peril? But Jurassic Park did that pretty well, if you ask me. So
Also, it was kind of like, who's the main character? Is it Judy and Peter, or is it Alan? And like, what was the deal with the shoe? Like, I mean, other than that, he fesses up it was him.
there's just a lot of threads that don't go a ton of places. It's like they tried to do Jurassic Park meets Back to the Future meets another iconic 90s movie. It felt like a weird mishmash.
I was watching with Michelle, and I was like positing that, oh, the shoe thing is like, when he completes the game, he's going to get spit out in his own time before that happened. And then he's going to, like, you know, pull the shoe off the conveyor belt and give it to the guy, and then, you know, he'll, you know, succeed in his shoe line. And, but no, that doesn't even happen. It's just, oh, he confessed to being responsible for that. And there's really no consequence or fallout for him having carelessly destroyed that guy's, like, dream. What? But I didn't really get what that was all about.
Yeah, there were a lot of... Did I just say this 5 seconds ago, or did I
throwing in your eyes.
or did I just say it in my head?
I think you said it out loud. A lot of loose threads.
Okay.
We're struggling, man.
Oh my God.
Do we want to talk about? Okay, first of all, I wrote Carl with a question mark, and I'm not sure who that is. I think that's the cop.
The cop. It's the cop.
Is his name Carl?
His name is Carl.
Okay, he was great.
Yes,
loved him.
And next, the best character, and the aunt. I love the aunt.
Oh yeah, she's also great.
She's just trying her best.
She's doing awesome.
She's like, yeah, I'm a mother now. Let me do my best. I'm also grieving the loss of my family, but don't you worry, I can be a mom to these 2 kids, and let me get this beautiful house under control. I can renovate it in a day. All right, everybody, just calm down. Stop lying to everybody. That's something we need to go to a therapist about. Okay.
Did you want to talk about Van Pelt at all in the original?
He's horrifying.
Oh, you were saying what's the scariest thing? I think it might be him.
I think it is too. I forgot about it. It's like his design.
Yeah.
I feel like his design is so approachable.
Yeah.
But the absolute Terminator aspect of him going and hunting him down. The fact that it's played by the same actor as his dad is also really weird.
Yeah, that's so funny because Michelle said it was the same actor, and I was like, I would never have guessed if you hadn't told me.
Yeah,
that.
which is what then it's like, what's the point?
Maybe there's some like thematic element of like him standing up to his father, or like, I don't know.
But he hugged his father then, so and like I don't
know.
It's like just
I don't know.
Pick a metaphor and make it work.
Yeah, and also his dad seems kind of awful. We don't support him.
Laurel said 5 seconds ago he thinks he beats his wife.
All right, well, you have fun with the edit, Maya.
I'm gonna have a terrible time with the edit.
We didn't really talk about Sarah. I mean, I don't really care to.
She's there.
She's there. She's traumatized. That time that she was like, "Do you guys see that too?" I was like, "Oh, sweetie."
Like, honey.
Poor dear.
But also, I just need to say this.
I feel like I know where you're going with this, but let me see.
I don't think you should hold children responsible for having to make adult decisions. But the fact that Homegirl ran out of the house, never came back, never tried to do anything. I understand that she had to go to a psychiatrist and everybody thought she was crazy. And yes, I can't imagine trying to go through that as a blossoming adolescent. However, what prevented you from sneaking back into the house and finding the board game?
Yeah.
Like, let's just...
I know. She truly booked it out of there and was like, I will never return.
I will never return. He's gone now. I'm like, we don't even revisit it once.
No.
Like, just...
And the board game is just stashed in the attic with other board games. Like...
Yeah. It's on top of the Monopoly board game. Like, we couldn't just go check just once.
Yeah. I like also, and this isn't related to what you're saying exactly, but I like how when they go back to their own time, she's like, I'm forgetting what it's like to be an adult. And I was like, okay, so you didn't want to deal with those implications of like...
Of now...
It was a good choice, but...
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Sarah, but maybe you should have tried just a little bit harder.
Maybe y'all should read the rules to the game before you start playing, just a thought.
Yeah, maybe all of you should do that. That would be really great. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, that's my hot take, as the kids say.
As the children do say.
Would you like my overall... Am I going too fast if I give you my overall opinion on Jumanji 1995?
I'd love to jump to the Jumanji 2017
okay,
characters.
so we'll leave final opinion. Okay, yeah.
Not that I think people are going to be able to guess. I don't think we're bearing the lead that well, but...
Better than sometimes.
Yeah, let's talk about Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle! I never know what he says next! Can't understand him, but good song. Okay, what did you think about Jumanji 2017, Welcome to the Jungle? Had you seen it before, I assume?
I saw the sequel, actually. Before.
Oh, that must have been confusing.
Not really, because I knew what happened in Welcome to the Jungle. It's not a difficult concept.
No.
Not exactly rocket science here.
No. It's not rocket surgery, as they say. Hit me with it. What are your thoughts on the characters? I made a list if you need to reference it.
I will start by saying... These are not my overall thoughts, but I find the concept of them inhabiting the avatars delightful.
Yeah.
What an excellent opportunity for thousands upon thousands of comedic scenarios. I love that.
One too many, perhaps.
I love that the Weasley little kid with asthma ends up in the body of Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I love that Fridge gets shrunk down to Kevin Hart. I love that sweet, sweet Martha is in the gorgeous bod of Karen Gillan in hot pants.
In hot pants. Is that what those are called?
Yeah. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, no, that's accurate.
It doesn't even.
And don't forget Bethany.
God. Freaking Bethany in the body of Jack Black healed me.
Yeah.
I think it
completely understandable.
It transformed me. It was a work of art that transcended modern times.
Wow. Powerful.
I was in awe, truly.
You know what's funny though about all those characters is like, I can believe Jack Black is Bethany. I can believe he's a teenage girl. I can believe that Karen Gillan is also a teenage girl because she played that really well. Yep. Even I thought Dwayne the Rock Johnson was hilarious and I could believe him.
There was a teenage boy trapped in his body.
Kevin Hart.
It was just Kevin Hart.
Yeah. That's all he ever is.
I honestly, I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about Kevin Hart. I wasn't mad about Kevin Hart.
I wasn't mad either. Depending on what movies he's in, sometimes I don't love him, but I thought he was fine. I did not see a teenage football star.
No. It was kind of like he was just saying the lines, but it was like, I don't believe that Fridge is inhabiting his body.
He was saying them as Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Which is still great and funny, but
I feel like the others did such a good job at... So I had to wonder, I was like, did they have the kids on set to run through a line or all? Did they have any kind of reference point? Or were they just
That's a good question.
Were they just on their own, cold turkey, just like, okay?
Well, Karen Gillan is an exceptional actress. I haven't seen much of Jack Black, but I think he's a good actor as well.
I love Jack Black. His performance as Bethany was so genuine too. Yeah. It was not an adult man making fun of a teenage girl. Yeah.
a teenage girl inhabiting the body of an adult man.
That's great. Ew.
How do I pee? I've been a teenage girl. I was like, I felt that. I felt that. Guys, tell me what to do.
Yeah, the character Bethany is just great.
Yeah.
What a great choice to include her, and like they don't really punish her for being like who she is.
No, not at all.
So cool.
It was that's kind of what I thought it was gonna do, but like the most punishment is just she gets her phone taken away.
Yeah. And she learns to be a little like
more self-reliant.
And maybe like sacrifices something for someone else, which is like a great message for anyone.
And less focused on her image because she was operating as Jack Black.
Yeah. Oh man. I've lost every train of thought.
I know, this is the most unhinged thing to try and explain.
Oh.
Seaplane.
Oh, Alex?
Yeah.
He's great.
I really enjoy Nick Jonas's performance, and I kind of wasn't expecting to, but he also... Everybody's very genuine.
He really looks the part, too. Like, he looks like a, adventurer, pilot, whatever. Like, thumbs up on that. It's kind of like almost a cliche how much he looks the part.
It is, but that's okay.
No, but like in a good way. In a good way. He nails the video game hero archetype. Like,
he's just an ex-teenage boy pop star trying his best.
And he's doing great.
He's doing great.
What did you think of, like, so we talked about the performances a lot, but what did you actually think about them as characters? And like, because you have 4 different characters, 5 if you count Alex, who all have their own unique character arcs, which is a lot to juggle. Well, that was kind of impressive.
Yeah. And they pulled every single one of them off. I did not leave the movie going, oh wait, what about this thread? What about this thread? Mm-hmm. What about this loose thread? Like, I felt like the arc was fully completed for every character, except maybe Kevin Hart. But yeah, I saw the arc kind of happen with just the actor who played Fridge himself, of just like, being a bully to like rebuilding his friendships, but it just felt like it had so little to do with Kevin Hart. Also, I kind of feel like Fridge did never do anything to deserve that redemption arc, because he never really seemed to feel bad about treating Spencer poorly, and he also showed no remorse about cheating, and he also took no, what's the word? Accountability.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Accountability.
I can't believe I thought of a word.
He said, Spencer, you caused me to lose my position on the team. And Spencer, you're the reason we got busted cheating. Like,
it's like, you were cheating, you idiot.
You are an idiot.
You moron.
You are the one cheating. Like, I know Spencer is also, but you are the one cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. I didn't really like Fridge. I thought Kevin Hart was funny, but I didn't like Fridge as a character.
I agree.
Spencer, I love him. He's so cute.
Don't cry. It's like, wow, I've never felt so seen by a character before.
Oh man, honestly, I saw that movie shortly after it came out, and that was just something I would go around saying because it was just so funny to me.
Just like, don't cry. I love the scene where Bethany teaches Martha how to flirt. And they're like, what's she doing? What's she doing down there? Is she goose stepping?
Did she sprain an ankle? Is there a bug in her hair? Karen Gillan is so funny.
Also, can we give an honorable mention to Rhys Darby?
I love Rhys Darby.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Oh my word, you nailed that energy. Yeah.
He was one of the best NPCs I've ever seen.
Yeah, he said it perfectly. I like, speaking of the NPCs, that scene where like they go to get information from the kid, and then Bethany asks the kid a question, and the kid kind of looks at her vacantly, and then turns back to
Dr. Bravestone.
Dr. Bravestone and repeats the same dialogue, and then Bethany's like, rude. Honestly, what a funny movie. It was just great.
Let's just talk about atmosphere.
Yeah.
For old, all I wrote was, this is a straight up horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't think, like, the way that they present it, it seems like a kid's action movie.
Yeah. No. It's dark. The implications.
The implications.
The implications are dark. I will say, Whereas I had such a fun time watching Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I was like, ooh, because there's a lot of camp. There's some silliness. There's some fun, dark jokes. It has its own charisma, I'll say. Jumanji, I thought I was going to love it. Because I remember watching it I watched it a lot as a kid. And it was scary. And I thought it was going to be the fun kind of scary. And it's just dark. And it's unpleasant to watch. Apart from the ending kind of tries to retcon everything and be like, everything's amazing now. And oh, look, we even stopped their parents from dying. Yay!
Yeah, which was weird.
And I'm like, But yeah, everything about the movie is just dark and horrific. Like, I don't know how else to say it. There was no moment where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun watching this.
There were a couple moments where I laughed, but it's not a comedy, I wouldn't say.
No.
And really, I don't know. I mean, the scene where, like, the floor turns into quicksand was cool. And, like, the ocean inside the house, the monsoon inside the house was cool.
Yeah, I want to give it credit for practical effects.
Yeah, the practical effects and the visuals are cool. But I agree, I wasn't actually having that much fun watching it. If I hadn't been watching it with Michelle, I would have been so bored.
And there's just a lot of tonal dissonance, I feel like.
Yeah, tonal dissonance. And you were talking about how the characters don't have chemistry. I think they tried to do that thing where, like, they have a kids movie, but they have adults for the adults to, like, enjoy. And
yeah.
Really, it just almost didn't know which direction to go.
Yeah. Which was shocking, because I
mean, it's a classic. People love it. I'd never seen it before. That was okay.
I've seen it before, but on playback.
Yeah.
Because I watched it after Welcome to the Jungle. So I watched that one first.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And I was watching... So we can get into the Welcome to the Jungle opinions. Clearly, the Jumanji 1995 is not racking up a ton of points with us.
Yeah, I think it was pretty fun, but I just got tired of the concept by the end. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think I was kind of tired of it halfway through.
I just felt like I'll probably watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory again before I die. Jumanji's a if.
Yeah, see, that's how I felt. I was like, I don't need to ever see this again.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I did. Now I marked off a classic, from the old bucket list, but...
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
But shockingly, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, as I was watching it, I went in prepared to hate it.
Oh.
I was having a blast.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, wait a minute. Is this good?
It's fun. It's funny. It's got a lot of the adventure tropes.
I was like, is this the movie that I say they can't make, they keep not making in the modern era? Is this the modern action adventure film that I've been waiting for and I just missed it entirely?
Yeah, because I don't think we even mentioned it on our list of top 5 action adventure movies, did we?
No, I don't know if it would have beat any of my other top 5s that I had, but it at least would have been in my top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a bit like, what was that other video game movie that they made recently? Within the past few years.
Ready Player One.
No, barf. Not that one. The one that's based
Free
on...
Guy.
No. Oh, that's a good one, though. Uncharted. It reminded me of that a little bit in vibes, but I can't really remember anything that happened in Uncharted, and I remember Jumanji. Like, I loved... Now, the sequel, I don't remember. I know I saw the sequel, I don't remember any. But Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, I remember watching it when it came out. We just loved it. Like...
It was so
great.
Funny.
So funny
and it was not, it wasn't even just like, it didn't feel like a lazy comedy. Like the world building felt complex. It felt like they were just ticking off all the boxes of, like, okay, we're going to make sure we get the video game character tropes. And
like
we're going to recreate this in a very detailed way so that it feels familiar to people.
It felt like it was written by people who loved video games.
Yeah. Which was also, I have to say, what a great update.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
To make it from a board game to a video game.
Yes, it was kind of inspired, really. Both to take it into Jumanji, genius.
Yeah.
And then to make it a video game, absolutely, like...
I think I might have
Brilliant.
been down on it when it first came out because I think I was still being a pick-me girl. And I was like, it's not as good as the Robin Williams one. No. It's better.
It's better. Yeah, I think they just had a lot of great ideas with it. Like the whole body swap thing, the video game aspects, like playing, like you said, with the video game tropes, plus like all the action, like adventure movie tropes, just taking the game into Jumanji. Like, who wouldn't have rather been with Alan Parrish for his 26 years than, yeah.
Also, what excellent callbacks to the original in such a respectful way without forcing a bunch of weird cameos that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
I loved the bit in the treehouse. He's like, I just found this place. And it's like, oh my god, that's where Alan was. That's where Alan was living in the jungle for 26 years. It also kind of explained away a lot of it. Like, oh, in Jumanji, you don't really recognize the passage of time. You don't know how long you've been there.
I agree. Like, they almost explained the old movie better than the old movie did.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, like, time works weird here.
But also, if you loved the original movie and were open to watching Welcome to the Jungle, those would have been fun fan service callbacks.
Yeah.
Without being too, like, just beaten over the head with it.
It begs the question, though, who created Jumanji? Like, where did it come from? Why does it want to suck people in? Would it really have killed them? Yes, probably.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But,
absolutely.
like, why? Like, it seems like the game wants them to learn a moral lesson. So, in a way, even though it's, like, malevolent, it's also helpful.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, I think it's just an evil, vengeful god.
Yeah, possibly. Just
or some
showing
fae,
up and-
some fae shit.
Yeah, you know what? It does have fae. Yeah, it has fae energy. Also, those drums are great. And the sound design in the second one, like that little video game chime it does whenever one of them is regenerated.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. I was like, oh, chef's kiss for that sound effect all alone. Like, whoever came up with that.
You know, Laurel and I love some crunchy sound
We
around
love some
here.
crunchy sound. Just a fun movie, fun times. I enjoyed pretty much every second of it. I still got like a bit antsy to the end because watching a 2-hour long movie is long for me. But
Yeah, I watched it in chunks on the treadmill, and
smart. Smart to do it while you're moving.
Yeah.
That's probably what I need to do.
yeah, gotta get my steps in, just like Bethany.
Just like Bethany.
I love Bethany.
She's going hiking. Good for Bethany.
I was
what an
like,
inspiration.
What an icon.
What an icon. And I love that she's still friends with like her old friends, and she's still friends with her new nerdy weird friends.
Yeah,
Bethany is honestly my favorite character.
yeah, and I like,
Actually, that's not true. Spencer still wins, but Bethany's great.
I'm happy that Martha got a character arc.
Yeah,
Because
I like
it's
Martha
like,
too.
yeah, you don't need to be a dick to your gym teacher.
Yeah,
Martha. I don't care what Ivy League school you end up going to. You should not be a dick to your gym teacher.
And your gym teacher did not ask for any of that. Like,
she was being
nice.
so nice.
She was being helpful and supportive.
Yeah.
And raising some good points about how physical activity and like socialization are good for you.
Yeah. And she's like, you bitch.
I know. I love how that's the moment that Spencer's like, wow, what a woman.
Spencer's like, wow, great points. We don't need to socialize, and we do not need to be physically active. And I'm like,
okay, that's my boy. Oh man.
How about just a little walk for you,
A
Spencer?
little walk. A little walk.
Take a
at the park.
Zyrtec, take a walk, take your inhaler with you.
Actually, you know, Bethany might be my favorite character.
I-
As much as I love Spencer. I don't have anything else to say. It was just a good time.
I was gonna say, do you want me to wrap this up then?
Honestly, yes. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go to bed.
Let's finish this episode and then say Jumanji.
Yes, that's what it is. This game sucked us in and said you need to record your damn podcast if you want to get out of here. So our question, did the remake add anything of value to the original? Did it justify the movie being made? The original Jumanji was a shot in the dark. It was a harrowing adventure similar to Jurassic Park in a way. It also starred the late and fantabulous Robin Williams. How can you beat that? Well, I don't think I'm in the minority for saying this, but I personally would say this is an example of a near-perfect reboot. The film pays loving homage without forced cameos to its original predecessor, and captures the spirit of the film while skillfully updating the source material for a modern audience. It is a truly fun, silly action-adventure film that was a far departure from the horrific nature of the original film. I would argue, too, that this film surpasses the original film in every way. And as always, everyone is welcome to disagree with me, but I think this is a fun flick that I would happily watch again and again, and I cannot say the same for the original Jumanji.
Imagine all the people leaving us hate comments now.
I don't have a big enough audience to leave hate comments.
Imagine all two of our listeners.
All two of our listeners from hell. And Jelena.
And Jelena, bless her.
Jelena's gonna start writing our hate mail for us. Just to make it look,
us feel like
make it look like we have some conflict.
Yeah. Jumanji!
Jumanji! We made it through the wilderness. Thank you for listening, everyone, on this terrible Monday night in February. But you'll be listening to it on Wednesday. And as always, keep it feral.
Keep it feral. I'm too tired to be feral.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Effing It Up. If you're enjoying these episodes, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at _effingitup_ or on our YouTube channel where we post the video format of our show. If you have content that you want us to cover, we want to hear about it. Feel free to DM us on Instagram or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. Thank you again.